Well, I'm back. Last time I was out here at Unit 42, I got chased off by a thunderstorm. I will never be out on the water when the lightning is flashing. Not cool. Especially when I have a rod called the lightning rod. It's like, hey, it really worked. But anyway, it's 10:40 and I am just getting started, so I want that noontime bite, you know? Nobody eats in between breakfast and noon, so hopefully they're going to be ready for me. Got a paradox though, we got a thing going on. There are some people that say high pressure is the wrong time to fish because the bass and everything, fish are just kind of sluggish. But there's other people that say when the wind's from the west, the fishing is best. Guess what the direction the wind's out of? Out of the west. So wow, may the best theory win. I hope it's the latter, the wind from the west thing. But it is summertime. Summertime. Hey, there's a cloud up there. There weren't any clouds earlier, but there is now. Cool. I'm all for that. If you want to kind of, because it's supposed to be like the hottest day of the year so far. High is like 102, and heat index 105, 110, somewhere in there. So if I happen to fall off the boat, it may not really be an accident, but you know, if that does happen. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. This is where I was last time. I went through that little channel and down that way and caught a bunch of dinks. Now I'm going to try this side. It goes up and around, and there's another leg. On the map it kind of looks like a giraffe, you know, short back legs, longer front legs, and a long neck. But we're going to see long neck. Wow, I may need one of those by the time this is all over. Nice cold long neck. I digress. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Again, if you do launch your boat from the boat ramp, you have this to contend with. This is out from the boat ramp, so it's really shallow. I would not think that putting a bass boat in here would be a good idea, but unless you're a daredevil. All right, what to start with? Where to start? I guess I'll start over here on the shadier side. And of course I'll have to try my crankbait. All right, now for a look at what we're going to be, or what I will be showing you today. The riprap. Man, that just looks like that should have bass hanging out in it. And there probably are, but I didn't speak their language with the bait I was throwing. So anyway, we're gonna head back this way. Not a lot structure-wise. If the water was up, all that back there would be, all that tall grass would be in the water, and that could be fun because little bait fish get up in there and the bass are not far away. But anyway, we'll see what this has to offer. Well, trying my jig. Look at this warmouth. Good grief. Dude, you got an appetite, man. Oh, he's peeing. Sorry, I'll put you back. Didn't mean to scare you. Wow. Well, first bass on this here crankbait. As you can tell, not exactly what you'd call a big one. But anyway, it is a bass, so yay. Oh wow, he decided to take another jump. Down he goes. I'm sure that's very traumatic for a little bass like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot using the map app where I catch my bass. Instead of trying to tell you, as you can see, getting ready to go around the corner and see which way I want to go after I get there. But I figured that's the least I can do is go ahead and because me catching a fish on a strip hit doesn't really tell anything, but maybe by doing this, fisheries people or whatever might have another tool to use to find out about, you know, concentrations of bass. Not like I'm going to catch a bunch of them. But anyway, I was just getting ready to change to my sexy shad because I was thinking, you know what? I don't have confidence in this crankbait like I do in my sexy shad. And about the time I thought that, lo and behold. Now remember, or if you watch my last video about spooked bass, because I was having a play on words there since I caught that bass on a Zara spook. Get it? Oh, you don't find this kind of humor on just any old video or YouTube channel. But the fish that I was catching over right on the other side of this little ridge right here is the pit. They were all tiny as well, and so far that's kind of first one out of the gates. Now I'm using my deep diving crankbait, and it was probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet deep when it hit, not right up against the shore. I do like this though, all the wind's pushing against this bank right here, so sometimes that kind of helps. We'll see. Well, this is a fun experience. I've never, well, when I went to Bone Creek Reservoir, that's a reservoir, you know, an actual lake, so you would expect waves, right? This is the first time I'm experiencing waves on a strip pit because the wind's strong enough to create them. And I'm at the far end of the arm of the pit where the wind's piling all this stuff up. Do you hear any slapping of water against my boat? You know, just maybe a slight gurgle. But that's one of the things that I think is better about this type of fishing platform is the styrofoam doesn't, you know, I mean, the waves hit the styrofoam and it doesn't really do anything, unlike the side of a metal john boat where you get that slapping sound. So, just a side note. I think I will put this crankbait up here. I see a little bit of structure in the water straight ahead that may be a good place to pitch that jig I have around it, see if there's any takers. But this is a look down the arm. I've come down this side of the bank. That structure over there looks really good. I'm definitely going to have to hit it on the way back, obviously. But there's really not a lot. I mean, looking at this, it's just like a big old farm pond. Not much there. So that's where a crankbait's good because you can cover ground with it quicker. But, you know, I'm not going to pass up something like this right here. I think I'll put my jig back on and see if there's anything down here around this that would be interesting. And another little bass. I need to put this over here in this rod hook. Hey, stop doing that. I'll get you free. Before you hurt yourself. So another little guy on the deep diving crankbait. Had one of these jump off earlier, so 2 caught, 2 little dinks. But hey, considering high pressure and wind from the west, so far I guess the wind from the west idea is winning out. Alright, so I've way down there, I came through the corner and I've come up this bank here. Now there's this little cove kind of area, and you can tell when the water's up, you can actually get through to that over there. Or if you have a kayak. Interesting. And right opposite of that is the other leg of this pit. I'm going to go ahead and go up the neck of the pit of the giraffe. See, this is its front leg, and I came down its back leg. All along its back was that giggling sound I guess I heard. Oh, this is like its shoulder right here. See, this is the shoulder of that leg. This is the shoulder, yeah. Anyway, it kind of looks like it might be shallow. Almost like Zara Spook Land. Oh, and I put back on my sexy shad. I couldn't help it. I had to. Wow, look at this. This is what part of the neck. Looks like it's being choked. So I believe that's navigable water. You can get through there. I could get through there and head on down for about a mile more of the same. Interesting. I guess I'll fish around this area a little bit. I'm not going to go way on back there because I don't have all day. Well, how about that? Sexy shad for the win. Kidding. That's a nicer bass at least. Thank you, buddy. So that was right. Oh, yeah. I said I was going to do this. Get my app out. I don't know if you can see that, but it just goes straight on down. I should take my jig and drop it down and see about how deep it is, but I'm going to say it's deep enough for this crankbait not to have to worry about getting any vegetation stuck to it. Interesting. Another one from out in the middle of the pit. Suspended bass, they be. Looks like they have more bluegill beds right in here. So where I took that last screenshot of where I caught the bass, this is basically in that same area. It's on the west side of the pit. Here's one for the jig. Heck yeah. Oh, easy, easy. And back in the water you go. Nice. All right, so there's the front leg. This is like the chest, I guess, because there's the neck of the giraffe going off that way. Alert! Something just splashed in the water. What could that be? Oh. Something just tagged it too. Wow. More bluegill beds. They came out to try to chase me away. I don't know if you can see them, but I don't know if you can see them that well, but right there along the bank there's several beds, and the bluegill are hanging out by them. This is at the very beginning of going into the front leg of the giraffe. And the only reason why I'm using the jig right here is because last time there were bluegill beds, I tossed the jig in there and I got a bass. It is a bass on the sexy shad. Wow, pretty colors, man. You know how to set a hook, don't you? Look at the pretty colors on that little guy. My goodness. I hope I'm making the mama basses really mad. You're up here letting me catch your little babies and you're not doing a thing about it. I forgot, I said I was going to document where even the little guys. Okay, screenshot. Right on the front shoulder of the giraffe. There's a deer walking through the grass right straight ahead. And I'm thinking to myself, should I go down there and fish that? Or should I just cut across to the other side? Thinking maybe I should just cut across to the other side. That could be where the state record bass is hanging out though. And I'm going to give up on it. I guess I'll keep going forward. Hi deer. Hi buddy. I think it's going to come down to the water. There goes the deer. I didn't realize it was a buck. Well, I made it all the way to the very end of the front leg of the giraffe. And I was thinking, you know, it probably shallows out, so it'd be a good place to use the spook. The bank here is no different than the bank all along. It just drops straight off. Got weeds that come out a little ways and off down in the abyss it goes. So this is what it looks like from the bottom of the giraffe's front leg, looking back at the body of the giraffe. Okay, so I'm hoping that when I get over there to this brush that there's a possibility that that brush may... Oh, cool. Great white egret. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to scare you away. Wow, I wonder where that was. Huh. Anyway, that dead tree stuff up there, I have hopes. I gotta make sure I covered this here pretty good because this is the last bit of structure for a while. Surely there's gotta be a bass hanging. It is, you know, 1 o'clock right now. See if you can see this, how that just drops straight off. And finally, I'm coming around the belly to the back leg. And I don't know if you can see it on film or not, but even though there's this point, the contour remains pretty much the same, it looks like. Comes out just a little bit right here, shallow, as I'm getting weeds right now. Look at the structure in this water. You know that they'll be holding bass. Early morning topwater bite right here. Late evening. Yep. And right up there is the boat ramp, so you don't have far to get here. Weeds. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hello there, buddy. Again, not a big one. Whoa, easy, easy. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, you threw my front or my trailer. Come on. It's not supposed to be that difficult. Crying out loud. Oh. I need to put a new trailer on. That was pretty much just the way it's supposed to be. Cast right up to the brush. Came charging out and got it. Alright, so for those of you that don't think I ever throw a jig, ta-da! Got a couple of them, or 3 or something like that on a jig today. This jig. What I like about this jig is how fine the rubber things are, the skirt is on it. And then the trailer I'm using is a watermelon candy craw by Yum. And that's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? And in this clear water, it really, you know, it shows up. Apparently it has a natural enough look that that last bass wanted it. Well, a fun day, a fun little trip. Let's see, it's 1:44 right now. So right in the middle of their lunch hour, and then some. Hopefully this helps you understand this pit, the giraffe pit. It has some areas of structure, and oddly enough, that's where I caught most of my fish, around the brush piles and whatnot. Well, actually, that's not odd at all. But it really doesn't have much structure other than what you see, the brush piles that are there. Crankbait, jigs, had a couple try the old Zara Spook. But I am looking forward to the next exploration. I passed a pit on the way here on 60th Street, I think it is. Oh man, it looks so good. It's got cattails and all kinds of wonderful stuff. It looks like a really good boat launch area. This one does too, but I say the problem with this boat launch is this little ridge right out here, and also the fact that the concrete stops about 2 feet into the water and drops off. So, but anyway, don't let that stop you. If you have a, you know, like a John boat or a kayak or something, come on out here and check it out. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this helps you know what yet another pit is like. It's always fun doing these explorations, and thank God that I can do it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. If you have any comments, be sure to share them. Questions or whatever, I'll get right back with you as soon as I can. And until then, if you have an opportunity to go out and enjoy this great world of ours, please do that. It's a wonderful thing. Great resource here, especially in southeast Kansas. All of these strip pits are just wonderful. And as far as Unit 42 goes, my favorite has to be the one where I didn't realize that there was a boat launch. It's on the north side of Unit 44. It's a little strip pit kind of thing. It's got structure on one side, bank on the other. Doesn't really matter in that place what side you fish. Big fish are there. When you catch a 14, 15 and a 19.5-inch bass in short order, that's a pretty good pit. And it also has more stained water. See how clear this water is? I'm not 100% sure, but I would say when I'm fishing pits that have this kind of clear water, they have a lot of little bass in it. I know I caught a nice sized bass out of a pit that had clear water like this. It also had a nice big flat shallow area. It's the one where the big whistle tubes are out in the water. That was a good pit. That wasn't in 42 though. That was 44, I think. But anyway, I'll quit rambling and get this thing loaded up so I can go home and have something nice and cold to drink. Actually, I think I'll stop by the Strip Pit Bait and Tackle store and get something to wet my whistle before I get home. So until later, thanks for watching. Really enjoy it. Later. Got me a nice cold one from the Strip Hit Bait and Tackle store. Now it's time to go home and edit a video in the air conditioning. Yeah.